What are we doing today?
Best feet
That's good.
that you might not have heard of.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is number 38. It's a piping foot.
It's a piping foot.
Piping foot. You may have seen this cute sample for our class that's coming up. It's the Carolyn Pajamas. And what's so lovely about this sample is all of this piping. I mean, there are a lot of lovely things about this sample, but this piping here is pretty special.
Icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake. Piping on the cake.
Oh my god. Did you have to say that?
I had to do it.
Okay.
You set it up.
All right.
And so, anyway, this foot, I wanted to just show that this foot, the number 38, is kind of a great, again, with my manicure, and you're zooming in on it. Okay. How can I hold this without showing you my fingers? There we go. All right. So this foot, see the bottom side of this foot? It has one side that is quite a bit higher than the other side, and also a narrow pathway for the fabric. So this gives more contact on the fabric, and then also allows for a discrepancy between heights, which is what you're doing with piping. So when we put this one on,
Hold on. Let's have you put that back on one more time.
okay, you want to see how it's a one-handed operation? Here's the Bernina feet are one-handed installation operation.
Boom.
Boom.
Okay.
Okay. So this side of the foot, the left side of the foot, is
Hold
where
on.
the
You gotta let me. Whoop.
the left side of the foot is where the foot is thicker. The right side of the foot is where the foot is thinner to accommodate a higher set of fabric here. So see now my foot is basically completely even because the piping is sitting up higher and the fabric is sitting lower. And so what's going to happen as I move is this is going to make contact with the feed dogs a lot better and move much more smoothly along my seam here. See where we're going to be able to make contact with this, all three layers. We're going to have a stitch line that'll be right next to the edge of the fabric. But so this is number 38 piping foot. Great little foot to have for piping. But okay, so let me talk about other uses for the piping foot. There are other occasions where you might have layering going on that means that there's a thicker edge and a thinner part that you're going to be sewing on. A good example of that would be binding. So when you're putting it, this could be a good foot for use with binding, depending upon what style of binding you're doing. But this could be a good hack for that as well.
Thicker canvases.
Yeah.
Maybe even top stitching down denim.
Yeah. It's notable that this opening here is the same as the denim foot.
Oh.
And same with the bottom, also similar to the denim foot. Mm-hmm. It's a flat foot. And so the reason for that is that thicker fabric needs to make contact more heavily with the feed dogs in order to move. And so, anyhow. Also, this opening here is really narrow so that it prevents welling up of the fabric, channeling of the fabric up into the middle. Sometimes you get that, like a little bit of a ridge in the middle of your seam. You know what I'm talking about. Sam knows what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. That happens when this opening allows for too much channeling of the fabric in between in the stitching area. Okay, so that's the number 38. The other one I think is really fun and interesting to talk about is this 14D foot.
Close up of that.
Yeah, so the 14D is a zipper foot, and it's a little bit different from your other zipper foot because you see here that there's a little guide here and there's a screw. You might have noticed that your machine came with an orange screwdriver. It's got a very small flathead screwdriver attachment, or not attachment, but that's what it is. Anyhow, this little screw right here is what that is for. So a lot of your feet will have adjustment screws on them, and that allows for a wider variety of use. And so in this case, we would unscrew that little screw there, and then we would push this guide.
Okay, hold on. Let's get it in there.
So I just pushed the guide to the right, so that
now push it to the left.
So that now, what I can do is I can put this little guide here onto my zipper teeth, or right up against the zipper teeth, depending upon how big your zipper teeth are. And it's going to keep the fabric and everything else, particularly when you can't see the zipper teeth because it's covered up by fabric. This is pretty useful because then you're able to use this as a guide against the zipper teeth, and then you get this really nice even
like say line. You're putting in the fly of a pair of pants. There is a stitch where your zipper is covered at a certain point. Yep. I forgot what step it is, but yep. Your zipper is covered. That would be helpful. Yeah. So I mean, I can think of a great many occasions. This one comes in a D as well. If you're going to choose between a dual feed and a C foot, a coated foot, you're definitely going to want the dual feed every time. So when you can use dual feed, use dual feed. That's the moral of that story. On to the next one.
That's it. Oh, I have a couple accessories I wanted to talk about. Oil. Oil it's like brushing your teeth. You need oil to make your machine go. So if you need an oil refill, we have this in stock. If you don't need an oil refill, this is your PSA to get yours out and oil your machine. Your machine's going to sound better. It's going to work better. It'll do all the things better when it's oiled. So do that. Okay. Last thing. This is another PSA kind of. Threader head. This little doodad here. Can you see that?
Okay. There we go.
This little doodad here is the thing that is on the needle bar, and it's what threads your needle. So here's how you thread your machine. You're going to put your needle in the utmost, highest position. Okay?
Which button did you just press?
I pressed my needle button to do that.
Okay.
So my needle up down has my needle in the highest position. And now I can put my threader down, and it's going to go in the needle. It will not go in the needle. It will just bang up against the side of the needle if you have it too low, or if you have it lower than the highest position. So you want to make sure that you have it all the way up and then thread. It happens to all of us, and eventually you're going to accidentally bend the wire that goes into that needle. When you do that, you will come and get one of these doodads, which is a needle threader head. And
just pops on.
Yep, you just pop the old one off, and then you pop the new one on. It's got a little pin there that holds it in place, and it pops on, and it's easy peasy to fix. So if you've been sort of like dreading doing this thing because you don't know how or whatever, now would be a really good time to go ahead and get yourself a replacement and fix your situation so that you can. This is like on the same theme of brushing your teeth and spring cleaning. Just get your situation worked out so it's easier and more fun. Right? More fun is what we want. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Sam.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye.